Bought a one-way ticket to a town right on the coast, hoping that the salt water will drown your heavy ghost. I sit upon the boardwalk as the evening waves roll in, watching where the deep blue and the heavy skies begin. I let the first drop tumble down the contour of my cheek, falling through the wood slats to the path that I seek. It drips into the wet sand, disappearing in the gray, and joins a billion gallons pulling quietly away. And my tears found the ocean, they drifted from the shore, mixing with the currents where the heavy engines roar. I gave the sea the sorrow that was choking on my chest, and watched it carry your memory away into the west. The world is vast and open, and the tide is pulling free and swallowing the wreckage of what's left of you and me. I found a piece of driftwood shaped exactly like your hand, halfway buried sideways in the freezing shifting sand. I nearly picked it up to hold against the incoming chill, forgetting for a second how you broke my stable wheel. The tide is rushing upward, washing all the footprints clean, tearing down the staging of our tragic heavy scene. You can't argue with the water or deny your rising sea. It takes a million heartbreaks and it turns them all to free. And my tears found the ocean, they drifted from the shore, mixing with the currents where the heavy engines roar. I gave the sea the sorrow that was choking on my chest, and watched it carry your memory away into the west. The world is vast and open, and the tide is pulling free and swallowing the wreckage of what's left of you and me. They say a drop of water is a tiny fragile thing, but when it joins the tempest it can make a kingdom ring. I poured out all the weeping that I hid inside my room, and let the global currents wash away the permanent gloom. You're warm inside the city, completely safe and dry, while my grief is making waves underneath the weeping sky. My tears found the ocean, they drifted from the shore, mixing with the currents where the heavy engines roar. I gave the sea the soul that was choking on my chest, and watched it carry your memory away into the west. The world is vast and open, and the tide is pulling free and swallowing the wreckage of what's left of you and me. The high tide is here, washing over my shoes, nothing left to lose. The water takes it all. My tears found the ocean, let the waves crash. The power lines are down from the early box of matches and a single stick of wax tucked inside the drawer behind our ancient tax tracks. I struck the flint down hard and watched the tiny sulfur spark cut a little window through the suffocating dark. The flame is sitting steady on a silver metal tray, throwing long black shadows of the things you threw away. And I'm lighting a candle for our memories tonight, watching all our yesterdays dance inside the light. The wax is slowly melting like the promises we made before we let the vibrant colors permanently fade. It's a fragile little fortress against the creeping gloom, a solitary teardrop burning bright inside the room. The aroma of the cedar brings me straight back to the night we sat upon the floorboards when the future was so bright. We didn't need the city grid or neon on the street. We had an open fire and a shared racing heartbeat. Now I watch the roof turn black beneath the golden glow, a tiny quiet census of the life we used to know. The flame begins to flicker as the draft blows through the door, reminding me your footsteps won't be rushing down the floor. And I'm lighting a candle for our memories tonight, watching all our yesterdays dance inside the light. The wax is slowly melting like the promises we made before we let the vibrant colors permanently fade. It's a fragile little fortress against the creeping gloom, a solitary teardrop burning bright inside the room. They say that when a fire dies, the ashes clean and cold, a permanent conclusion to a story that was told. But a hot, heavy drop is dripping down the side, matching all the weeping that my pride has tried to hide. It's burning out of fuel, it's running out of time, just like the rhythm of a love that ran clean out of rhyme. And I'm lighting a candle for our memories tonight, watching all our yesterdays dance inside the light. The wax is slowly melting like the promises we made before we let the vibrant colors permanently fade. It's a fragile little fortress against the creeping gloom, a solitary teardrop burning bright inside the room. The wick is drowning out, the light begins to choke, nothing left but smoke. The room goes completely black, a candle for memories. Now the dark is back. I stripped the posters down and scrubbed the yellow paint away, trying to sanitize the spaces where you used to stay. The landlord says the floorboards are a standard white oak sheen, blank and sterile canvas for a brand new living scene. But architecture doesn't change its internal design just because you went and crossed a permanent state line. The plaster has recorded every fight inside our youth and holds the structural encryption of the tragic truth. Because the empty rooms remember where the laughter used to bounce. They hold the exact metric of your weight down to the ounce. The drywall keeps the echo of the final words you said and projects them on the ceiling right above my lonely head. I can clear out all the furniture and throw away the keys, but the structural geometry is brought down to its knees. I found a tiny pencil mark behind the pantry frame, right where we tracked our height before you added to my shame. It's hidden by the shadows when the kitchen light is low, a microscopic monument to a life we used to know. We think that we leave nothing but a box of cardboard trash when we redline our engines and we make a sudden crash. But houses are like sponges for the patterns that we make, soaking up the vibrations of a heart you chose to break. Cause the empty rooms remember where the laughter used to bounce. They hold the exact metric of your weight down to the ounce. The drywall keeps the echo of the final words you said and projects them on the ceiling right above my lonely head. I can clear out all the furniture and throw away the keys, but the structural geometry is brought down to its knees. They say a ghost is magic or a trick inside your mind, a visual delusion that your grief has left behind. But it's just the raw physics of a loud acoustic space that refuses to erase the contours of your face. The walls are holding on to you, they bar the front exit, ensuring that I'm trapped inside the trap where we split. Because the empty rooms remember where the laughter used to bounce. They hold the exact metric of your weight down to the ounce. The drywall keeps the echo of the final words you said and projects them on the ceiling right above my lonely head. I can clear out all the furniture and throw away the keys, but the structural geometry is brought down to its knees. The house is dead still, but the corners still speak. The winter turns bleak, they won't let you go. Empty rooms, remember, listen real close. The air inside this master bedroom feels heavy and thin, like a chemical change in the room that we used to live in. I pull up the shades just to let the breeze clear out the floor, but the oxygen stalls right before it can reach the front door. My lungs do the math out of habit, just keeping the pace, entirely unbothered by the giant void in our space. But my throat starts to tighten whenever I look at your chair, choking on particles of old undisturbed bedroom air. And every breath without you is a physical fight, a mountain of iron I lift in the middle of the night. My chest expands wide, but the air has no medicine to give. It's just a biological metric of learning to live. I inhale the quiet, I exhale the ghost of our past. Surviving a second that was never designed to quite last. I went for a jog down the block just to clear out my head, but the atmosphere thickened to a gelatinous gray shade instead. I watched a young couple laughing and running real fast, breathing so easy before their beautiful future turned to pass. Our love was the fuel that was keeping my engine alive, the vital gas system that allowed a broken heart to survive. Now I'm just an empty tank rattling along on the street, gasping for a frequency that used to make me complete. And every breath without you is a physical fight, a mountain of iron I lift in the middle of the night. My chest expands wide, but the air has no medicine to give. It's just a biological metric of learning to live. I inhale the quiet, I exhale the ghost of our past. Surviving a second that was never designed to quite last. They say it's an involuntary muscle that doesn't need thought, but they have never stood inside the trap where I am caught. You took all the laughter, the warmth, and the vitalized spark, and left me this vacuum to navigate here in the dark. I'm pulling in seconds, but I'm clean out of reasons to try, drowning in the simple arithmetic of your all goodbye. Fight, a mountain of iron I lift in the middle of the night. My chest expands wide, but the air has no medicine to give. It's just a biological metric of learning to live. I inhale the quiet, I exhale the ghost of our past. Surviving a second that was never designed to quite last. Just an empty rib cage. Inhale the dark night, exhale the last light. The lungs keep on working, but the spirit is gone. Every breath without you, just let it stop. The calendar page fell away and the years became a blur, and someone else is sleeping where your promises once were. I watched you cross the state line to a town that always shines, I stayed back to calculate the fractures on our lines. By all the rules of logic, my devotion should have ceased. The moment that your taillights vanished out into the east. But feelings aren't a math problem that arguments can clear, and data hasn't found a way to stop a heavy tear. Because I loved you past the final word, I loved you past the crash, I loved you past the moment that our kingdom turned to ash. The door is locked, the keys are gone, the ink is fully dry, but my spirit kept on running down a road you chose to fly. They think that closure finishes the narrative we tied, but I loved you past goodbye. I saw you at a crossing on a busy street downtown. You had a brand new jacket and your hair was brushed on down. I braced my heavy shoulders getting ready for the stare, but you looked right through my body like I was made of air. A clean and perfect stranger with a cold and vacant eye, who didn't even notice that a ghost was walking by. My brain accepted the defeat, it told my legs to move, but my pulse started dancing to an old forbidden groove. Because I loved you past the final word, I loved you past the crash, I loved you past the moment that our kingdom turned to ash. The door is locked, the keys are gone, the ink is fully dry, but my spirit kept on running down a road you chose to fly. They think that closure finishes the narrative we tied, but I loved you past goodbye. How long does a shadow stay when the source is walked away? How long does a frequency vibrate inside decay? It's a quiet kind of madness, a solitary crime, to love a phantom figure past the borders of all time. You survived the autumn and you found a brighter sky, while I am stuck expanding on a permanent goodbye. Because I loved you past the final word, I loved you past the crash, I loved you past the moment that our kingdom turned to ash. The door is locked, the keys are gone, the ink is fully dry, but my spirit kept on running down a road you chose to fly. They think that closure finishes the narrative we tied, but I loved you past goodbye. 1,000 days later, still standing on the track. I don't want the future back if it doesn't have your spark. I loved you past goodbye. Leave me in the dark. I wake up to the sound of a completely silent floor. No footsteps making patterns right outside the bedroom door. I reach across the linen, but the contour is all gone, leaving me to face the heavy gray of early dawn. I used to have your laughter and the way you'd hold my hand, a physical reality I used to understand. Now I'm just a survivor tracking miles across the room. gathering the fragments of a self-inflicted gloom. Because the morning took the kingdom that we spent a lifetime building, and the sunshine uncovers all the promises we're breaking. I have no hand to hold on to, no voice to guide my theme. The world walked out and left me with only dreams. I close my eyes to find you where the shadows never die, stuck living in a nightmare underneath the waking sky. I found your old keychain at the bottom of the drawer, a little plastic artifact from days we had before. I hold it in my fingers till the metal starts to burn, a tiny quiet reminder of a love that won't return. The logical mind tells me to clear out all the nets, to accept the calculations and pay up all the debts. But logic doesn't operate inside an empty chest that keeps on screaming out for the one who loved it best. Because the morning took the kingdom that we spent a lifetime building, and the sunshine uncovers all the promises we're breaking. I have no hand to hold on to, no voice to guide my theme. The world walked out and left me with only dreams. I close my eyes to find you where the shadows never die, stuck living in a nightmare underneath the waking sky. They say that time is kind and it washes out the stain, but daylight just reinforces the precision of the pain. In the waking world, I'm nothing but a phantom on the street, a broken-hearted casualty of a permanent defeat. But under the safety of a heavy dark night, we are perfectly whole, we are bathed in the light. Because the morning took the kingdom that we spent a lifetime building, and the sunshine uncovers all the promises we're breaking. I have no hand to hold on to, no voice to guide my theme. The world walked out and left me with only dreams. I close my eyes to find you where the shadows never die, stuck living in a nightmare underneath the waking sky. Just sleep now, I'll find you in the deep, the only space I keep. Don't wake me up tonight, left with only dreams fade to black. The street lamps went out early on our side of the town, as a cold and heavy twilight came tumbling on down. I stepped out to the garden where the grass was turning gray, tracing out the footprints of the day. You walked away. The sky is wide and hollow, a cavernous design, entirely unbothered by this broken heart of mine. The moon is throwing silver lines across the empty yard, a cold and blinding keeping up a bitter guard. And I am lost beneath the moonlight, stranded in the glow of a phantom piece of starlight from a life we used to know. It doesn't warm the pavement, it doesn't clear the chill, it just illuminates the wreckage that you left upon the hill. I'm a captive to a silhouette, a prisoner to the beat, lost beneath the moonlight of a dead, forgotten dream. I found your old denim jacket, left hanging on the gate, a faded piece of armor from before we met our fate. I put it on my shoulders to fight the midnight air, but fabric cannot substitute the warmth of you being there. The craters on that distant rock are staring straight at me, a stark and silent census of a global agony. You're sleeping fine 1,000 miles under a brighter sky, while leaving me to drown inside your very last goodbye. And I am lost beneath the moonlight, stranded in the glow of a phantom piece of starlight from a life we used to know. It doesn't warm the pavement, it doesn't clear the chill, it just illuminates the wreckage that you left upon the hill. I'm a captive to a silhouette, a prisoner to the beat, lost beneath the moonlight of a dead, forgotten dream. They say the night can guard a secret or wash a trauma clean, but it just shines a laser on our final tragic scene. No polite disguises, no more careful bitter lies, just a silver crescent cutting through my downcast eyes. You can't outrun the shadow when it's bolted to the floor, or force an iron deadbolt to unlock the kitchen door. That you left upon the hill. I'm a captive to a silhouette, a prisoner to the beat, lost beneath the moonlight of a dead, forgotten dream. The silver starts to fade, the clouds are pulling tight in the middle of the night. No illumination left, lost beneath the moonlight. Turn the high beams off. I spent the morning tracking lines across the living room floor, tracing the space from the kitchen table straight to the door. The oak is aging fast, the structural timbers are split. A physical map of a home where we no longer fit. We didn't have a sudden crash or a heavy loud break. We just didn't pay attention to the space we would make. And microfractures started growing deep under our shoes, swallowing up the simple things we couldn't afford to lose. And love fell between the cracks of our everyday life, silently slipping away through the chore and the strife. No dramatic betrayal, no roaring display, just a slow, steady widening day after day. We were looking at horizons, ignoring the tracks, until a lifetime of us fell straight through the cracks. Found a silver dime you dropped beneath the baseline shelf, left over from a morning when I still knew myself. It's covered in the dust of months of quiet neglect, a tiny piece of currency our habits wrecked. We talked about the weather just to pass the long week, steering completely clear of the truths we should speak. We thought the foundation was solid, we thought it was tough, but micro gaps are more than wide and deep enough. When the damage is small and spread across a decade like a shadow on the wall, it's a cellular subtraction, the invisible theft, leaving you completely bare with nothing else left. We didn't notice the breakdown until it was done, and the floorboards had swallowed up our very last sun. Fell straight through the cracks, sweeping the floorboards tonight. Nothing left to say. Look at the space it gave, completely slipped away. Love fell between the cracks, the foundation is bare. I sat across from my reflection at the break of the day and read through all the reasons why you chose to walk away. The data says it's over, the ledger's completely clear. A permanent subtraction of the things we held real dear. My friends all giving me lectures about accepting the defeat and finding a brand new anchor to make my life concrete. My logical mind agrees with every single word they say. It tracks all the mechanics of how you went astray. Because the facts are all stacked up against us on the shelf. And I can state the structural truth completely to myself. The doors are locked, the keys are gone, the vital frequency agrees. But past the bone and past the blood, my heart still believes. A stubborn little soldier fighting in a ruined land, holding on to promises that neither of us could stand. I found a dried up clover tucked inside an old notebook, left over from a summer when our universe still shook. It should have turned to powder when I held it in my hand, but the fibers held together like a contract in the sand. It's a terrifying science, how a muscle keeps a spark long after the illumination vanished from the dark. You're living out a brand new life 1,000 miles out west, while your baseline frequency is still ruling my chest. Because the facts are all stacked up against us on the shelf, and I can state the structural truth completely to myself. The doors are locked, the keys are gone, the vital frequency agrees. But past the bone and past the blood, my heart still believes. A stubborn little soldier fighting in a ruined land, holding on to promises that neither of us could stand. They call it a delusion, they call it a naive mistake, to guard a dead foundation that you chose to level low and break. But you can't reason with tissue, you can't argue with the vein. It ignores all the geography and replicates the pain. It's a quiet kind of madness, a solitary crime, to wait for your arrival past the borders of all time. Because the facts are all stacked up against us on the shelf, and I can state the structural truth completely to myself. The doors are locked, the keys are gone, the vital frequency agrees. But past the bone and past the blood, my heart still believes. A stubborn little soldier fighting in a ruined land, holding on to promises that neither of us could stand. The logic says it's dead, the numbers don't lie, a permanent goodbye. But down inside the deep, where the dark never leaves, my heart still believes, still waiting for you. I swept the final pile of dust across the kitchen floor, and threw the broken keychain in the trash behind the door. The closets are wide open, and the hangers have gone bare, leaving nothing but a vacuum in the cold bedroom air. I checked the baseline numbers of the ledger in my hand, a clear and perfect census of a devastated land. You took the house, the records, and the future that we planned, and left me standing hollow on a ridge of shifting sand. There ain't no photos on the wall, no keys upon the track, no matches left to burn the words you used to say. The castle turned to ashes under winter's heavy cold, and tonight inside the dark, nothing remains but hope, a tiny fragment found a single clover forcing up through old concrete. Right away, a heavy engine left its tracks across the street. It's an ugly kind of beauty growing straight out of the womb, a quiet little signal that the system isn't ruined. I spent 100 midnights tracking tallies of the pain, drowning in the math of your absolute decay reign. But a heart is like a seed that's buried deep inside the ground. It learns to find a horizon when the wreckage tumbles down. There ain't no photos on the wall, no keys upon the tray, no matches left to burn the words you used to say. The castle turned to ashes under winter's heavy coping. Tonight inside the dark, nothing remains but hope, a tiny fragile frequency that refuses to die, a solitary lantern underneath the freezing sky. It isn't born of anger, it isn't born of pride. It's the final cell surviving after everything has died. You can take the validation, take the paradise we lost, and leave me freezing solid under layers of the frost. But you cannot kill the morning or deny a rising sun. The future keeps on climbing when the damage is all done. There ain't no photos on the wall, no keys upon the tray, no matches left to burn the words you used to say. The castle turned to ashes under winter's heavy coping. Tonight inside the dark, nothing remains but hope, a tiny fragile frequency that refuses to die, a solitary lantern underneath the freezing sky. The dark is lifting now, the first bird starts to sing, the ending of the spring, a brand new line to write. Nothing remains but hope.